Well, it's when your home is no longer your castle. Crazy council laws that literally ban property owners from carrying out renovations and repairs. Councils claim it's all about protecting our heritage. Critics say it's a joke.
Now be a bit careful here.
Yeah, I'll say so, absolutely. Watch the holes in the floor, careful.
Now there's, as far as I can see, there's not much here that's worth saving, in my opinion.
Robbed, says Brian Green, of his life savings.
We got it cheap because nobody else wanted it.
Brian bought this old row of terraces in inner Sydney 20 years ago. It was to be his superannuation. He and son Gary had big plans for redevelopment, either going up, like the buildings round it, or demolition. No more.
It's lost its value. It's lost over $1 million worth of value.
It was a drive-by, and somebody said, "Looks like they look all right, you know. We'll list these." Never said anything to me or anybody else.
It's called heritage listing. All it takes is a drive-by expert to turn a valuable site into a nightmare.
People should be outraged because if you can heritage list this property, you can heritage list any terrace in Sydney.
They're fine examples of how houses were built in the 1880s, the bricks that are used, the type of roofing, the style.
Sydney City Council's Alastair Walton says heritage houses are preserved for everyone and that Brian could have fixed these ones up.
And there's all sorts of laws that people can argue about. But in regards to heritage, as far as we can see, there's no reason why that restricts people being able to use a house or to renovate a house or even maintain a house.
Maybe Alastair hasn't had a close look.
Most heritage properties have rising damp. It's been estimated at over $500,000 to fix alone.
Rotten timbers, modern concrete floors, aluminium windows, even newish brick walls. All would have to go under a heritage-approved renovation.
The council's mad. City of Sydney Council's quite mad and treating people that own property, their property rights, they're just riding roughshod over them.
Rents on the occupied terraces wouldn't increase much even after the $1 million heritage makeover, and Gary and Brian would foot the bill. If you did decide to bulldoze them, what would happen?
I think we'd be fined, but then that's nothing new. We've been actually threatened with a $1.1 million fine when we spoke out against the council's unfair heritage listing policies.
Even the old outside dunny is now an architectural treasure.
Now have a look at this one. Yes. Complete with a plastic seat, no roof. It's in rack and ruin and we're supposed to preserve that.
That's covered by the heritage listing?
That's covered under the heritage listing, absolutely.
Well, I want to build a new home. I want to demolish it.
Number 28 Upland Road is a very fine example of something. But what is it? Is it A, a stately home crying out for heritage listing, or B, a 1949 cream brick and tile begging for demolition? Let's ask the owner.
No way. I don't believe it should be heritage listed. It's not a house, look. I mean, I live here and I say it's an ugly home.
Nick Kalaris and family have also become victims of a drive-by heritage expert, but they didn't find out until they applied to the Moonee Valley City Council for demolition permission.
Disgusted. Totally disgusted. Well, I own the house and I've got no say in it. And all of a sudden somebody just comes along and says, that's it. They're telling you what to do. How do you reckon I feel?
Councillor Jan Chantry is trying to get the decision reversed.
They cannot demolish, they cannot move forward, they cannot put any alterations or extensions which they have worked for and saved for over the last 5 years. Now, this is affecting their family life.
The same expert who drove by and put his house on the list also classified this one 5 doors up as a heritage home. In fact, this beautiful Federation home is only 5 years old. A very good reproduction from the ground up, but not genuine Federation, unless you're a council expert.
So who decides what's of heritage value, what's worth saving, what isn't?
Howard Gipps there, and in a statement sent to A Current Affair, Moonee Valley City Council says it's yet to make a decision on Nick's home. We'll let you know the outcome. And for more information on that heritage housing story, visit our 9MSN website. Still to come on A Current Affair, Delta Force.